Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for January 2nd, 2020. I'd like everyone to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Dawson, the roll call, please.
Mr. McIntosh.
Here.
Mrs. Lucci.
Present.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Present. Okay, good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone out there in Concord Township. As you can see, we've transitioned to a new board. With that, we have some housekeeping issues to address for the beginning of the year. We are going to begin the organizational meeting with procedures for the new year and our reorganization of our board. With that, I would like to designate Mrs. Dawson as Chairman Pro Tem. Chairmanship of the meeting is turned over to Mrs. Dawson for the purpose of electing a chairman.
Nominations are now open for the position of the chairman.
I nominate Carl Dondorfer for the position of chairman.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Dondorfer is announced. Nominations are now open for the position of vice chair.
I would like to nominate Morgan McIntosh as vice chairman, excuse me.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. McIntosh is the new vice chair. Excuse me. Nominations are now open for the position of fiscal officer pro tempore.
I nominate Amy Lucci to serve as fiscal officer pro tempore.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Pardon me.
Excuse you. You okay?
Amy Lucci is now fiscal officer pro tempore. Mr. Dondorfer assumes the chair. Mr. McIntosh assumes the position of vice chair. Mrs. Lucci assumes the position of fiscal officer pro tempore, and I reassume the position of fiscal officer.
Okay, we will now set the time and date of meetings for 2020. The trustee meetings will be held the first and third Wednesdays of each month at 7:30, as in the past, in Town Hall Meeting Room, except the first meeting in February, which will be on February 3rd, 2020. Office hours will always precede the trustee meeting and will be from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Staff meetings will be set for the Friday preceding the first trustee meeting of each month at 9 a.m. in the conference room at Town Hall. The appropriations workshop will be announced at a later date. Special meetings will be announced at least 24 hours in advance on Spectrum, which is formerly Time Warner Cable, Channel 1020, and faxed to local newspapers, including the News Herald, the Plain Dealer, and the Lake County Tribune. We will now appoint the following township department directors. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Well, you'll have to read them off first, sir. I'm sorry.
For administrator, Andy Rose. Legal counsel.
Do we need to motion each one of these individually?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want a motion
Each
for each
one.
one? Okay, sorry.
Mr. Chair, I nominate Andy Rose for township administrator.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Michael Lucas as legal counsel.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Mr. Chairman, I nominate Karen Warner to serve as cemetery sexton.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Mr. Chairman, I nominate Matthew Sabo to serve as township fire chief.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I move to nominate Frank Carrasca as service department director.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Deborah Esker serve as recreation department director.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I move that Heather Freeman serve as the Planning and Zoning Department Director and Zoning Inspector.
And I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And Mr. Chairman, I move that Heather Freeman serve as the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals and Zoning Commission.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll now go over the employee pay rates for 2020. They were passed at the special meeting on 12/27/2019, at which time I made a motion to approve the rates as discussed, and Connie Ludis seconded the motion. We will now establish legal holidays for the year. If the holiday falls on Saturday, it is observed on the preceding Friday. On Sunday, it is observed on the following Monday. The following holidays are offered for considerations, after which a motion will be entertained. Holidays for administration and service department, fire department, and administrative personnel will be on January 1st, New Year's Day, January 20th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, February 17th, President's Day, May 25th, Memorial Day, July 4th, Independence Day, September 7th, Labor Day, October 12th, Columbus Day, November 11th, Veterans Day, November 26th, Thanksgiving Day, November 27th, which is the day after Thanksgiving, December 24th, the trustee designated holiday, and December 25th, Christmas Day. Holidays for fire department, firefighting personnel, January 1st, New Year's Day, April 12th, Easter Sunday, May 25th, Memorial Day, July 4th, Independence Day, September 7th, Labor Day, November 26th, Thanksgiving Day, and December 25th, Christmas Day. Motion to approve that.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the holidays for administrative service, fire department admin personnel, and then the holidays for the fire department firefighting personnel.
And I will second those.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The temporary appropriations for 2020 were passed at the regular meeting on 12/4/2019. Resolution 2019-26. I made a motion to approve the rates as discussed, and Ms. Luda seconded the motion, and there were 2 ayes. Is there a motion to approve the list of super blanket certificates 1-2020 through 102-2020 effective January 1st, 2020?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the list of super blanket certificates 1-2020 through 102-2020 effective January 1st of this year, 2020.
And I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there a motion to appoint Carl Dondorfer to the Volunteer Firefighters Dependents Fund Board for a 1-year term commencing on 1/1/2020?
Mr. Chairman, I move to appoint Carl Dondorfer to the Volunteer Firefighters Dependent Fund Board for 1-year term commencing on 1/1/2020.
And I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there a motion to appoint Morgan McIntosh to the Volunteer Firefighters Dependents Fund Board for a 1-year term commencing on 1/1/2020?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Morgan McIntosh to the Volunteer Firefighters Dependents Fund Board for a 1-year term commencing 1/1/2020.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This concludes the organization meeting portion of the regular trustees meeting, and we will now move to the regular meeting agenda. Okay, we need to approve our minutes from the December 27th, 2019 meeting. Amy, you want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the December 27, 2019 special meeting minutes.
I will second.
Abstain.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, elected officials report. Amy Dawson, fiscal officer.
Andy's gonna read my report.
Andy is, okay, I understand. Andy, thank you for stepping in.
Good evening. The treasurer's report, summary of 2019. Concord Township continues to be fiscally sound. The township began 2019 with $4.8 million in the treasury. We collected $10.7 million in taxes, grants, interest, permit and EMS fees, leases and rents, community center classes, cemetery sales, and gifts and donations, or 111% of the budgeted revenue. We expended $10.4 million in salaries and benefits, road improvement, road repair and maintenance, emergency services and equipment, property maintenance, fees to Lake County and to the state of Ohio, and building improvements. This was 81% of projected expenditures. In addition, we ended the year with $40,565 in encumbered funds set aside for specific projects. $1.5 million is required to cover expenses until the first half real estate taxes arrive at the end of March. Financial statements for Concord Township will be available after March 1st. In the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact the fiscal officer, Amy Dawson, in her office at 440-354-7516. Have a happy and healthy new year. This concludes the fiscal officer's report, sir. Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Trustee reports. Mrs. Lucci.
Nothing to report other than I wanted to say a quick hello. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for this appointment. I am deeply honored, very grateful to be here. I understand what an honor it is to work with you all, to be with this great group of people. I've been a Concord resident. I love Concord. I think it's an exceptional place to live. I think there are exceptional people here. I have been working hard to get myself acclimated and kind of getting up to speed, and I intend to keep working hard with our team to do my best for everybody here, myself included, for our community. I'd also like to thank again, or just say Happy New Year to everybody again, and wishing you and your families the best for 2020.
Thank you, Amy. Mr. McIntosh.
Yes, well, I'd like to start off by saying that I'm very excited to be here this evening. I've been in Concord for 21 years, and I've served for 10 years on the zoning board, but I'm very proud to be sitting here tonight with Carl and Amy to serve as a township trustee. I've spent a lot of time over the summer getting to know the community, meeting more people, and I found that really exciting, and I'm happy to be here, looking forward to working with this new board, and I'm very honored to follow in the footsteps of Connie Luda, who just retired from her 28th year as trustee, and I believe that's the longest serving trustee in Concord history.
Right.
And I also wanted to just recognize the fact that Connie was also part of a long-standing board. This is the first time in 14 years we've had an entirely new board. I look forward to working with the township, but also with you guys here. I think we have a great opportunity. The township has been very successful these last 14 years, and I think we have an opportunity to bring in a fresh perspective and just carry the torch, and so I'm excited to be here.
Great. I would like to reiterate what Mrs. Lucci and Mr. McIntosh mentioned, that I'm excited about serving Concord Township. Being appointed in April of 19, I'm still new also. I believe that we have a nice balance between the three of us here. With any change, there's always a lot to learn. I believe we've all made a commitment to learn what we need to do to be an effective and a good trustee. And we're all committed to making the best decisions for Concord Township, and I believe that collectively we're going to work well together and work well with the community to do what's best for Concord, because we all have the same interests. So I look forward to working with everybody and serving as chair this year. So with that, we do have some priorities that are on the horizon. As stated in the earlier meeting in November of this year, I believe it was November 20th, we did make some mention about the fire station project, which will be a priority moving forward this year. We plan on meeting with the chief and our administrator to get some updates here this month, and looking to sit down collectively with those that are interested sometime the beginning of February, possibly at the first trustee meeting in February, to get some input in moving the project forward. With that, we'll go into department reports. Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer, members of the board, Mrs. Dawson, members of the audience, good evening. welcome to 2020. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. I look forward to this year with a lot of optimism, almost as much as what Deb Esker is going to give in her recreation report. Today's agenda includes several items related to the 2020 road program. The first is Resolution 2020 TAC 01 that would authorize us to enter into an agreement through the Lake County engineer to enter into a joint resurfacing project with Painesville Township and Perry Village. Doing a joint road program allows for better pricing. We did this last year with Painesville Township, and we got good pricing, and it was very successful. So we're doing it again, and the engineers have also brought in Perry Village. So I will respectfully request an affirmative vote on that resolution. Two other items on the agenda for a vote are requests for the permission to advertise for road projects. The first one is the joint road repair program that we are entering into with the other communities, and the other is for the Lancaster Court road reconstruction through the OPWC grant program. And getting these projects out early allows for better pricing, so I respectfully request affirmative votes on those. And finally, on behalf of the entire administration, we welcome the new board, and we look forward to working together. Thank you. That concludes my report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Fire Department, Chief Sabo.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. For the month of December, the fire department responded to 269 dispatches. Our total dispatches for 2019 was 2,639. And in the first quarter of 2020, you'll see the annual report come out to give more details about those events. In the month of December, we had 168 EMS events with 123 transports to area hospitals. We had 8 fire events, which included in Concord 3 chimney fires, 1 stove fire, and 1 outdoors fire from debris. Responses outside of Concord included 1 car fire and 2 house fires in the month of December. We gave mutual aid 24 times, and we received mutual aid 15 times. Our Fire Prevention Bureau has been busy. For the month of December, they completed 58 inspections, accounting for about 101 man-hours between 2 inspectors. They had 36 inspections that passed, 9 that it passed with comments, 5 that passed with discrepancies, and 4 that are pending. Pending is a combination of consultations and follow-ups on past failures or discrepancy that are working towards correction and repairs. They had 4 failed inspections and 2 plan reviews. The plan reviews account for approximately 22 hours for submission to the Lake County Building Department. And they also had the 2 inspectors participated in 6 hours for training and continuing education in their field. Our public education department was also busy with 3 Knox box installation, 3 Knox box removals, and 2 public events. So the fire department looks forward to working with the board and looking forward to a good 2020. Thanks.
Chief. Service Department, Frank Kraska.
Good evening.
Good evening, Frank.
On behalf of the entire staff at the Service Department, we would like to welcome the new Board of Trustees and look forward to working closely with you in attaining goals and objectives in the coming year and beyond. December turned out to be relatively a mild month. We only experienced winter-related conditions on 7 days, of which there was only light accumulations that primarily required just treating the hills, curves, and intersections with salt. As of January 1st, the Service Department has dispatched crews on 16 occasions, and we have dispensed 600 tons of salt on township streets and subdivisions. In comparison to last year at this time, this represents a slight bump up of activity and salt usage, though last January turned out to be quite an active month throughout. During December, we continued our right-of-way tree trimming program. This program requires us to remove tree limbs and brush overgrowth into the right-of-way that will potentially cause damage to our snowplow mirrors and similar encounters with commercial traffic and school buses. We maintained a weekly road patching crew throughout the month, and we also completed various assignments at the cemetery. We installed or reinstalled snow barricades this past month, bringing our total up to 36. So far, we have installed 717 barricades since the program's inception in 2005. The mailbox snow barricade program is ongoing and available to residents. Concord residents can purchase them for $40 each. That is the cost of material. Installation is provided by our service department as a courtesy. If you have any questions regarding services provided by Concord Service Department, or if you have made any observations that you want to report to the Concord Service Department, you can find our contact numbers and other related information under the Service Department tab on Concord website at www.concordtwp.com, or call our office directly at 440-350-3225. As I did last month, we would like to remind everyone that once the roads are snow covered, driving is no longer routine. Your commute to work, school, and business will be impacted. Plan ahead, give yourself added travel time, know the conditions you will be encountering, and simply slow down. Help the Sheriff's Department and primarily help yourself by driving safely this winter. That concludes our report. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Okay, next up, Zoning Department, Heather Freeman.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So during the month of December, the zoning department processed 12 zoning permit applications and collected just over $2,000 in fees. Our office also began investigations on 3 new complaints about potential zoning violations and performed 84 site inspections for open zoning permits. Next week, the Zoning Commission will meet for their regularly scheduled meeting on Tuesday at 7 p.m. The public hearing for the proposed rezoning of approximately 25 acres of land from R1 to R3 located on Prouty Road will be continued. And the board may also potentially discuss some zoning updates for 2020. The BZA meeting for January has been canceled as we have no new cases to review. And thank you and Happy New Year from the Zoning Department.
Thank you, Heather. Rec Department, Deborah Esker.
Good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening.
I will try to live up to Mr. Rose's expectations of an enthusiastic report. So, Rick, can we fire up that PowerPoint, please? Thank you so much. We start this new decade with new leadership in Concord Township. On behalf of the Recreation Department, welcome, new Board of Trustees. Joining sitting trustee Carl Dondorfer, we welcome newly elected trustee Morgan McIntosh and newly appointed trustee Amy Lucci. On behalf of the Recreation Department, we look very forward to working for you and with you to bring great programming to Concord residents. So welcome, welcome. Thanks to the 17 families that entered our Light Up Concord Holiday Decorating Contest and the 390 people who voted for their favorite homes and decided our winners. If you took advantage of the map we provided on our website that showed the location of each of the houses in the contest and took a tour of our charming township to view the homes in person, I'm sure you felt the holiday spirit all around Concord. So let's take a quick peek at the winners. Our first category is traditional lights. It's for the Christmas purist and includes time-honored red and green lights and decorations. And the winner is the Sluga family on Deerhaven Street for this traditional category. The all-white lights category is pretty self-explanatory, just simply beautiful white lights. And the winner of the all-white lights category is the Longano family on Morley Road. Our next category is lights set to music, and this is a fun one. This one really needs to be seen and heard in order to fully appreciate the magnificence of the effort that went into this. And the winner of the lights set to music category is the Brandoni family on Ridgewater Drive. They've won it several years in a row, and oh my goodness, they bring so much joy to our little township. And why be a Grinch when you can be a Griswold? The Clark Griswold category is for the highly enthusiastic Christmas decorator who goes all out with decorations that can be seen from overhead aircraft. And the winner of the Clark Griswold category is the Scheider family on Rosedale Drive. We had a People's Choice Award this year, and that is basically the house that received the most overall votes. The winner of the People's Choice Award goes to the Lucas family on Windtree Drive. And just thanks again to everyone who participated in this little bit of holiday cheer. A big shout out to everyone who decorated this year. It was beautiful to go around Concord and seeing so many lights. Concord was just lit. You made our season and township merry and bright, so thanks everybody. And normally at this point, I'd begin to report all about all the exciting classes and events the Recreation Department has planned for the upcoming month. But before I do, I wanted to share this special letter with you. On December 14th, we hosted our annual Children's Christmas program, Letters to Santa with Mrs. Claus at the Old Stone School. And just as the name suggests, Mrs. Claus helps children write their letters to Santa and then mail them in a special box. After the program, we look at the box, we make sure Santa gets those letters, but we also send a copy of the letter to parents so they know how much room to save under the tree for Santa's gifts. When we checked the letters this year, we found a very special one from Mrs. Betty Leiby. Anybody who knows Betty knows that she's a volunteer at the Old Stone School, and she just turned 92 last year. Wow. That's Betty's letter. In her letter, she asked Santa for a new red car, and a little elf told me she got one in the form of a little red Matchbox car. So just a shout out to Betty for sharing her holiday spirit and sending her letter to Santa. It's the start of a new decade, so make sure you take time for yourself and consider taking a leisure class that sparks your interest. In January, the Concord Township Recreation Department offers a plethora of classes, including martial arts for adults and children, Pound, the exercise with drumsticks class, beginning yoga, yoga Pilates fusion, sit and stay fit chair exercise classes, move and groove for ages 2 and 3, princess ballet for ages 3 to 5, hip hop and tumble for ages 4 to 6, Windows 10 for adults, photography from A to Z, Photoshop elements, learning Lightroom, making a stained glass sun catcher, getting started in Medicare, getting ready for retirement, and our life skills for teens classes resume again. You can sign up online at concordtwp.com or just call the Recreation Department for personal assistance. The focus is on fun this month as we welcome comedian Mike Gersh on January 15th to entertain seniors while they warm up with some hot soup at our first senior social of the year, Soup and Crackers. Regular senior socials occur the first and third Wednesday of each month. Senior socials begin at 1 p.m. and are free unless otherwise noted. All are welcome to attend, and we always serve coffee and dessert. And new this year, we're offering a monthly bingo on the fourth Wednesday of the month. This is in addition to our other senior programming. Monthly bingo programs begin at 11 a.m. and are immediately followed by a free light lunch. This month's bingo program is scheduled for January 22nd. And all we ask is you give us a call at 440-639-4650 to reserve your seat. There are many ways to stay informed on township happenings. Start by reading the Grapevine newsletter coming to your mailbox very soon and subscribing to our monthly email newsletter, the e-Grapevine. You can also download the Concord app or visit our highly informative website. Follow us on social media platforms including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or simply pick up the phone and call any department for immediate assistance. The Recreation Department is always interested in resident ideas and suggestions. We value your opinion and love to hear from you. Stop by the community center or call us anytime. And finally, Happy New Year. I'd like to take a moment to thank the Board of Trustees, our fiscal officer, our administrator, our legal counsel for their vibrant and dedicated leadership. Again, the Recreation Department looks forward to working with you, and we hope to make 2020 great for our residents. Happy New Year, everybody, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah.
Nice work.
Thank you. Next up, Concord Law Enforcement. Sheriff Liam Bruno.
Well, I did notice the deer in the parking lot, and I thought they were here for the Santa letters, but they were protesting Andy's socks this evening. Sheriff's Office had 1,131 calls for service in December. We had 4 injury accidents, 10 property damage accidents. We are trying to adapt our reports online because a lot of the residents said they'd like to see the roads listed once again with some of the burglaries, so we've readjusted those. We had 4 OVI arrests in December, We had a DUI on Prouty Road at North Meadow. We had a DUI at Route 84 at Tanglewood. We had one on Girdled Road and one on Auburn at the Comfort Inn. And so we also had one arrest for heroin, and that was on State Route 84, and one disorderly conduct arrest and aggravated trespassing also on Auburn Road. We responded to 85 alarms in Concord. We did 112 business checks, 47 crime preventions. We worked on 15 citations and 171 warnings. We also were responding to a lot of complaints on parking violations, so we did 31 warnings in Concord for various parking violations. We have a number of new investigations. We have 3 burglaries that we're investigating, one on Concord Hamden Road, one on Althea Drive, and one on Marlowe Drive. We assisted 40 vehicles that were broken down, responded to 2 drug complaints on Girdled Road and Gabriel's Way. We had a prowler complaint at Winchester Place, 2 shots fired, one at Cherry Hill and the other one on State Road 86, and a vandalism on Lily Lane and one on Browning Court. In response to scams, the Sheriff's Office has developed a brochure on scams, which highlights 6 or 7 of the major scams that are going on, who to call, phone numbers, and what to do. We've distributed those to the senior centers throughout the area, but they're available if anyone calls and wants copies of those brochures. They are also available on our Facebook. Last week we did training with the other 2 SWAT teams in Lake County. So we did joint training with all those teams so that we're better prepared for prolonged incidents that might occur in this area. So we're trying to work more with law enforcement in the area to use joint resources. Lastly, I don't know why the other staff won't say it, but I like the old board first. No. We do want to congratulate all the trustees on your new positions, and we do look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you.
Nice. Very nice.
We have to expect that.
Yeah.
That brings us to the audience portion of the meeting tonight. If there's anybody that would like to come forward to the podium, please do it this time. And if you want to state your name and address for the record, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ron Glebe, 7223 Hunting Lake Drive. We've been residents here for 26 years. Couldn't find a better place to live. My wife and I came here to say hello to Morgan and Carl and Amy. Welcome you aboard.
Thank you.
I don't know how you're going to do it without Miss Luda missing. We're going to have to try. Just want to, I found out that they got a Windows 10 coming up. We just got a new phone. Obviously, these 2 seniors will be there in attendance. Again, that's all I really had. Thank you. Good luck, and keep Concord running as efficiently as it always has. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Glebe.
Thanks, Mr. Glebe.
No one else? Okay, that brings us to old business, which we have none. So we will move into the new business section of the meeting tonight.
Mr. Chairman, I'd request that you table the December financial reports, as it's the second of the year. Was not able to complete those today.
Okay. Make a motion to table those.
No, you're good.
We're good? Okay.
Table.
Resolution 2020-01, which is the combined township and village resurfacing project.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept resolution number 2020-01, resolution by Concord Township Board of Trustees to advertise for bids for the resurfacing various roads under combined township and village resurfacing project, Concord Township, Painesville Township, and Perrick Village, LEC project number 2019-015, bid to be opened on February 4th, 2020.
Okay, is there a second?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda is a vote for permission to advertise for the 2020 Concord Township, Painesville Township resurfacing project.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept resolution.
No, it's just permission to advertise.
Okay, resolution by the Concord Board of Township Trustees.
No.
No.
It's a duplicate. You need
Oh.
to just, permission to advertise for the
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
same project.
Gotcha.
That's all right.
Mr. Chairman, I move for permission to advertise for the 2020 OPWC Lancaster Court Reconstruction Project.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I
Go
jumped.
back up to
I
Okay.
jumped, yeah.
Amy will make the motion for the,
See.
For the first one.
Mhm.
I move to make, I move for permission to advertise for the 2020 Concord Township, Painesville Township resurfacing project.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Rose, you're gonna move to address our letters of recognition?
Yes, sir. We have 2 letters of recognition for the Eastern Lake County Chamber of Commerce. The first one is a letter of recognition for Mr. Joseph Calley Jr. He is the 2020 Beacon Award winner. On behalf of Concord Township, we would like to extend our sincere congratulations to Joseph Calley Jr. on being selected as the 2020 Beacon Award winner. Joe's professional life was rooted in community service as a part-time firefighter in Painesville Township for 8 years and as a full-time firefighter in Perry Fire District for 25 years. Retiring in 2014 as a firefighter, Joe remains working as an electrician with his own business, Perfection Electric. Joe spends much of his time volunteering with Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation, Carpo's ministry at St. Mary's Church in Painesville, helping to feed the homeless and less fortunate, and also with the Knights of Columbus Painesville Council number 947, helping with hosting various community events during the year. Joe is known fondly by many people in Lake County as the guy who quietly serves and the last person who would ever expect any recognition for his service. Concord Township extends our gratitude and honors you for your dedication and your long and distinguished tenure of public service. In grateful appreciation, the Concord Township Board of Trustees. And the second letter of recognition is for the Lantern of Madison, which is the 2020 Business of the Year. On behalf of Concord Township, we congratulate the Lantern of Madison as being selected as the Eastern Lake County Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year for 2020. Lantern of Madison is committed to provide a desired place that will physically, mentally, and emotionally satisfy seniors. The unique state-of-the-art, quote-unquote, Fountain for Life and Cevies programs are designed to provide a dignified lifestyle to seniors. Lantern of Madison is an active supporter of many organizations throughout Lake County, including the Eastern Lake County Chamber of Commerce. Gene Meckish, CEO of the Lantern Group, encourages staff to get involved with many Lake County and nonprofit organizations. The Lantern Group supports a variety of local youth sporting teams, donates to local schools and nonprofits, was instrumental in bringing a food bank to Madison, and actively participates in the Lake County United Way Day of Caring. The Lantern Group's 3 facilities located in Madison, Saybrook, and Chagrin Valley also participates in the Alzheimer's Walk, which is a fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. It is an expression of appreciation by your fellow residents and local organizations for the significant contributions the Lantern of Madison has made in the everyday lives of this area's residents. Concord Township extends our gratitude and honors you for your dedication. In grateful appreciation, the Concord Township Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, that takes us to future meetings and announcements. The zoning commission meeting at Town Hall is scheduled for Tuesday, January 7th at 7 p.m. The BZA meeting at Town Hall scheduled for Wednesday, January 8th has been canceled. The JED meeting at Town Hall on Friday, January 10th at 8 a.m. And then we will have the trustee office hours on Wednesday, January 15th at 6:30 p.m., followed by the trustee meeting at 7:30 p.m. And that, I believe, concludes our first meeting of the year. Again, we'd like to, thank you. We'd like to wish everybody a happy new year, and if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us, and this meeting is adjourned.